From Los Angeles, California, this is Burncast and I'm the bomb.
So
excited.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so just let's start with saying what your name is.
Guzel.
Hi, Guzel. I'm the bomb. We just met, and we're at a Burning Man build party for an art project, and I just met her. So there's a bunch of people working in the background. You may hear a lot of hammers and saws, but I got to know Guzel, and I heard that you weren't going to Burning Man this year. Is that right?
That is right.
Tell me why.
I'm choosing to focus my energies this year on this amazing project that I'm working on, which is just turning the home that I'm living in into a sustainable environment. And I love Burning Man. It's definitely changed my life in so many ways, and it's so fun. And I can't, like, when I think about the fact that everyone's going and I'm not going, I have moments of sadness and moments of, like, you know, I'm gonna go. But ultimately, I think that my choice is the right one because Burning Man isn't very sustainable, and if I ever had any issue with it, I think it's probably been that for me. So I'm focusing my energies this year on creating a sustainable environment.
Okay, when were you aware that wasn't sustainable? Was Green Man like a focus for you, or did you always kind of have? Okay.
Since the first trip. I mean, because I've camped a lot throughout my lifetime, and to me, you know, camping is very sustainable because you literally, you know, you take everything with you and you take it out, and I understand that's the same concept at Burning Man too, but I just feel, and maybe it's the art element, I don't know, and I love the art element, don't get me wrong, it blows me away, but there is a lot of waste that goes with it. For instance, my first year there, Mac, who you just, you know, featured his art car, he was so smart in that he took his pickup truck and went and picked up plywood that he was going to use for his home. And plywood that was going into these burn bins.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah. And then I heard the following year that another person was doing that and was donating the wood to Habitat for Humanity.
Right.
But there's only so few people that are doing things like that. I mean, a lot of the wood goes into burn bins.
Yeah.
So again, that for me is hard because I love Burning Man, I love the art, but there is a lot of waste that goes on.
Yeah, true that. How long have you been going to Burning Man?
I've gone 3 years in a row, so 2005 was my first year.
Okay. Do you think you'll ever go back to Burning Man?
I can't say no. Probably. Yeah. Yeah.
What inspires you about Burning Man, if anything? I know you say you love the art, but if there's a word, could you just say a word?
Non-judgment.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me more about that.
Just that everyone that you meet is dressed in either a crazy outfit or they're naked or painted blue, and you're standing there next to this person who you don't know anything about, you know, other than this image that you see, and somehow you're able to get past this facade and really connect with people on such a beautiful level. And you know, and I can't equate it to anything else besides just pure non-judgment. The fact that, like, people are not judging each other at all. It's just total freedom, total expression, and total acceptance.
So if you could make Burning Man a better place, if you could make it more sustainable, how would you do it?
I guess encouraging people to not rent RVs and, you know what I mean, not rely so much on equipment that takes up lots of gas. I mean, as it is, you know, for people who live in LA, it is a trip. I mean, you're obviously using a lot of gas to get up there.
Yeah.
But, you know, using what do you call a SUV, you know, that has 4 people versus an RV, you know, the gas difference is huge, and just being conscious too of, like, what you're bringing up there with you, you know. I mean, I love the idea of, like, carrying your own cup.
Yeah.
Well, extend it to carrying your own fork and your own plate, you know, and just these habits that we can change. And that everyone, it's just so easy. I love the fact that people are carrying their own cups. Yeah. And there's a shift in people's habits. So, yeah, I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to ask you something about, do you think Green Man was a successful theme?
I think that there was a lot of stuff that went on that was really wonderful. A lot of solar panels that came out. And I think it was successful in the sense that people experimented with alternative energy, and saw that it was actually capable and it wasn't any different really. You're still hauling stuff up. Why not haul up a couple of solar panels, and I saw a lot of art that was inspired, that had green themes. So in that, I think it was a success. Everybody was certainly not green by any chance, but I think the fact that it's raising people's consciousness makes it successful.
Okay, yeah. Okay. And, okay, we're only halfway through. Is there anything you really, really need to urgently share about Burning Man or your experiences of Burning Man that just is from your heart? When I told you I was doing this project, there's something, I want to tell her this or that.
As far as people not going? Or
Yeah, let's talk about not going, yeah. There's a lot of people aren't going.
Yeah. Gosh. I just met 2 new people today who haven't been, and I encourage them to go.
Good.
So I think that, because it really changed my life. Right now, I live Burning Man every single day. It's honestly with me every single day, and every person I've met is pretty much the same thing. And what I said to this one guy today was, he asked me, he said, what would you say in a word that you learned or got from Burning Man? And I said humility, just knowing that there's amazing, beautiful people out there that are willing to give. Like, to me, Burning Man is all about giving and not expecting anything in return, which is so rare in our society. So it's so beautiful, and I encourage people to go. And I don't want to say I want to go, because, again, I'm really happy with my decision not to go. But
you're actually even ambivalent about ever coming back, but...
Yeah, but I mean, I can't say no. I don't, I don't know what my future holds, or, and I would love to experience it again in some capacity. I'm not attached to anything, and that's another thing that you learn at Burning Man is just letting go of attachments.
Yeah, just let it go.
And it's a beautiful place. It's a very beautiful place.
I'll be honest with you, that's a hard lesson for me. Yeah.
Letting go of attachments.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for most people.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful when you do. You let go, and like so much more comes in. That's the amazing thing. And that's, I would say that was the theme of my first year, 2005, was letting go. Because I didn't know what I was going into. I mean, I had this perception of Burning Man as like this big rave in the desert that I'd heard about for years, And I was just like, it's not for me. It's not my scene. And one of my beautiful friends named Tita, she showed me, that it was something different, and she brought me to Burning Man my first year. And even with her as when you tell people for the first time this is what it is, you just can't obviously capture it. Everyone has to experience it for themselves. And so I went, and I just was like letting go of my fears, my doubts, my judgments, and I was just completely open and not attached to what I thought it needed to be. And
nice.
It was the most beautiful experience. I mean, I could talk for hours, the stories, the things that I experienced my first year
You
there.
sound like an ascended burner. There are people who live that culture for years and decades, people who go one time, but it sounds like you really got Burning Man and the essence of it, and it sounds like you take it out into your world.
I do. I'm really fortunate that it's still with me. Yeah. And so that's why I don't feel this need to replicate, each year. And not to take away from the ritual aspect, which I think is really important in our society, is to be ritualistic and to come together and
have a focus.
Absolutely. And just the whole ritual of burning the man, it's just so powerful and so beautiful. But I'm not attached to having to replicate that every single year. It's okay. I don't need to experience that every single year. It's here. It's here with me every single day.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. I'm so glad you said yes. So we're complete strangers, and we've just spent 10 minutes together, and I've had the most beautiful conversation off play I've had in a long time. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. My pleasure.